Well, good morning, friends, and surprise, surprise to us anyway. This show doesn't start at 9, it starts at 8, so we were able to get a couple things going in time, and just wanted to welcome everyone to the 2024 Gillespie County Youth Livestock Show. I think we must have been going off some times from last year, thinking it started at 9, but anyway, our apologies, but we're here just in time for the first showing, and yeah, this first show at Duroc, so we'll get that going. Thanks for being a part this morning. We'll catch up here in a little bit.
Well, good morning, and certainly excited and my pleasure to be here to get to sort through your county show and work with these kids. And couldn't be happier, more excited to do it. And I think we kind of dive right in and start in your reds. And I guess I always say I think classes 1 and 2 a lot of times can be the hardest ones, just to sort or maybe just take the longest because you just kind of set the tone for what you're going to do, and also usually get a pretty good glimpse of kind of the quality you're going to see throughout the day. And at the same time, I think a lot of times in these, I guess, a purebred Class 1 or lightweights or whatever you want to call them, we've got a lot of varying endpoints, and I think it shows when you look in the ring. I'll be honest, I'm not going to just grab the mic and say, hey, there's one here to start us off that absolutely needs to win, because I think realistically we can have parts and pieces and talking points of several of these down the line. You can kind of make a case for and what you want to do. There's some of them that are further along maturity-wise. Some of them, the right things have got to happen just in terms of maturity or a feed bucket, and we kind of know whether that'll be in a few weeks or I guess 60 days from now, so be it. But I think an interesting trio of them. I'm going to start with the young man's 210. There's Barrow to go ahead and start, and I think that one for me in terms of elevation, look from the side, design, the usage of his hip and his hind legs suit me. We've got to change that Barrow when he comes right at us in terms of his chest. I've got to make him bolder through his heart. I need to open him in his cage to say, hey, that one confidently needs to start, but he's got the design, look, elevation, and still skeletal makeup to go ahead and lead. I think the 1s and 2 and 3 that our young man and young lady are driving, I think are very similar in type and kind, and you could sit ringside and say, hey, those ones are bolder about their cage and their body. Those ones have got a little more to them everywhere today. They do. For me, they both are the pair of them of our top trio that are a little smaller in their frame size, they're quicker in their maturity pattern. You question what either one of them is going to do in terms of just height of shoulder, length of neck from blade to ear set, or just how clean they'll stay on the top side of their neck. That's kind of where I question both of them today. We're going to use the young man's Barrow to go ahead and go into 2, and kind of like I said, if you want to just say, hey, that one's big chested, I love that one's natural body cavity. Again, another bendable hind leg that uses it. I've got to clean him up through his front third. I need to make him just a notch stouter in his feature. It's going to be very similar comments for the young lady's gilt there in 3. That one kind of worked her way up for me because I think just in terms of productivity, in terms of just length of stride off either end of her skeleton, she's maybe as good as any of them in this particular class. Well taken care of. Another just almost a broody bodied type of female. Again, I read her shorter to the ground. She's more closed up in terms of just length and neck than the one in second, but an interesting pair of them there. As we get into 4, 5, and 6, again, kind of like I said, talking points. Young ladies, this one on the side probably rivals our class winner. More than the ones that go in 2 and 3. Another one, we've got to open that Barrow in his chest. I didn't read him as true, just in his rib cage, whether you're talking fore-rib, mid-rib, or even depth of flank. Do that. I think he's got the right kind of look. Young man, similar comments. Neat-looking, well-presented one. I've got to give that one more horsepower, whether he's coming at you or especially leaving you through his inner leg and his stifle. Young lady, I penned pretty quick. I thought that one, honestly, a first impression pig on the side in terms of being hairy with a big arm and a bunch of shape up high. You love those things about him. When you start to break that animal down at the arena surface, he was the one I read we need to maybe watch or change or manage the most, both coming and going. Nice class of them. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
In our lightweight class of Durocs, 6th place went to Hannah Cruzy, 5th place Brazos Herbert, 4th place Casey Hawkins, 3rd place Carson Machy, 2nd place William Dixon, and 1st place Colt Herbert.
Cattle exhibitors, if you have an Angus for check-in, please go ahead and bring that up. Please pay attention as we are sharing the mic with the swine barn, and go ahead and just watch what we're doing. Attention in the steer barn, if you have a Hereford, please bring it to the arena.
Attention in the barn, I have a couple of announcements. We still have a phone that was found in the parking lot, someone dropped. And secondly, the concession stand is open this morning serving breakfast, so if you're hungry, please stop by. Also, if there are any Ag Max kids that are wanting to compete in the cutting torch competition, you will need to check in at 8:45 where the Ag Max projects are. We're going to begin that at 9 a.m. So if you want to be in the cutting torch competition, 8:45.
Hey, you get into your middleweight reds here, and I think a really nice class of them, and maybe just turn up the heat. And just in terms of power, mass, and extras, probably as a whole, maybe in relation to Class 1, but I still think break them down for what they are fairly logically, in my mind. A young man in the vest in the center of the rings barrel needs to go ahead and lead, and I think he's the combination barrel class in the same sense. He offers you extras. He's incredibly well presented and drove. I love that one's hip and hind leg. That thing can plant and go north and south. We're on Class 2, so I don't want to say maybe as good as anything we've seen today, but it's a very good hip and hind leg. He's still burly about his feature, big about his toe spread, good in terms of just his arm and his blade shape. I think has enough everywhere in terms of spread. He's maybe not the most ditch-backed one out here, but just he's bold, he's bulky. I think he fits where he's at weight-wise. You know, critics will say, hey, that one's maybe a little thicker on the top side of his neck, and I'd probably agree with you. You could probably change him in that regard, extend him just a shot, but that's being nitpicky, and the same thing, I think something we could probably criticize about all of them on. It's a nice one to go ahead and lead. I thought 2 and 3 got a little closer, but still logically the young man in pink needs to go second, and that one's just an absolute workhorse in this particular class. He's bold-chested, he's big-armed. That one packs a bunch on the top side of his skeleton, and it makes sense with how big he is and his upper hip and his upper pin. I thought when just kind of push came to shove and you just break him down, even though that one maybe does have just a shot more forearm size, I didn't read him. He's big in his rear toe. He definitely doesn't leave you as wide or quite as square at the arena surface off of his rear feet is what that class winner does, but in terms of just extras, bulk, and spread up high, it's a nice one to go too. Young man's in 3 certainly has things you like. That one probably is a nickel taller at the point of his shoulder. He has a shot more length and neck than the barrels that go ahead of him. At that same time, he's still good in terms of shape. He's got a square back. I guess for me, it's where you want to pick on him or what you want to say or what you want to do. For me, that one of our top trios, easily the softest in his front foot set. That one is easily the frailest in terms of just foot and toe and arm and feature, the size and shape, if you will. If you can stouten that one's feature, pick him up on those front feet. I can ride him to the top because I love his look, love just the squareness and shape that he has out of the backside of his blade. The young lady's in 4, I think, is interesting, and I guess we fed enough of the red ones for families that I think if the right things happen, this thing could be kind of fun. He's kind of funky colored, and I dig that, but he's incredibly tall-shouldered. He's attractive. He's great looking. He's another one that you can't really pick a hole in terms of his build. There just needs to be more of him in this particular setting. If when it's time to say go and that one balks and responds, you could be fun. He just has to have more to get ahead of that top trio today. Young lady in 5's got another just a market hog type in terms of just muscle, in terms of shape. That's a neat head and a neat skull working in that particular barrel. I read him on as the straightest and most restricted in terms of his movement off of either end. We've got to blend him a little bit better in terms of his ham-loin junction. Nice class of them. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
This is called for Herefords. Bring your short horns.
If we could get the first and second place, class 1 and class 2 Durocs up to the arena, please bring your first and second place, class 1 and class 2 Duroc bearers. First and second place, Durocs, class 1 and class 2, please bring them up so we can get the championship drive started soon.
Last call for Reds and Blacks to come check in. Last call, Reds and Blacks.
Get into your heavy reds here. Another nice class of them. Maybe just a few more parts and pieces and talking points to be had in this class than maybe your last one. And I think it's evident if you look in the ring, I guess, at the top pair of them, probably the most contrasting top pair we've seen so far today. Just in an aspect of where one probably excels the other one and vice versa in several different spots. So I think it's just kind of some personal preference and close, but I like the young man's barrel to my right to go ahead and lead. And I guess just kind of more similarly follow suit into those things we've talked about so far. He's more elevated than the one that's going to go into second. Still level in terms of his lines, comfortable in terms of his build. And I think has enough everywhere in terms of center body feel, in terms of muscle and spread up high. He could certainly be stouter in terms of foot, arm, and feature. You'd like to maybe just open him a little more, give him a shot more shape. And I think that's where the young man's Gilt that goes second has an advantage. She's easily bigger in terms of her feature. She's stouter about her mug. I love those things about her. In that same sense, she's the shoulder fronted option of our top pair. She too's another one that could probably just have a shot more shape up high. I didn't maybe read her rear foot placement quite as true, specifically on her back right. Wants to put a little more pressure on her outside hoof wall and heel as she goes away. But still, I love her added feature. Young man does a good job driving that one. I think 3, 4, and 5. I guess if you want to sit ringside and say you want to place these or jumble this trio around, I really wouldn't argue with you a whole lot because I think they're close. The young man's comes out, a big armed Gilt. Love the shoulder blade shape in that one. Gilt that honestly is square in terms of her hock, has probably a shot more shape up high than a pair above her. In that same sense, she's the straightest in terms of the angulation to her shoulder blade. Maybe need to change her a nickel in terms of her chest coming at you. Young lady coming out, another one, very well presented one. This Gilt in particular, didn't read her just as dense or burly in terms of the center portion of her body. I didn't read that one. Maybe it's just clean or trendy through her front. Another one, I've got a square, just a nickel to move up. Young young man comes out there in 5, maybe a different type of story. It's a bold-chested gilt when she comes right out. She's got maybe as much shape out the backside of her blade as any in this particular class. And actually her hock set from hock to ground square, we just got to lengthen that one's hip. She needs to take a longer stride off of either end, whether you want to say you need to relax her blade or lengthen her hip. I love her shape. Young man does a good job. Interesting class of them. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
Class 3 Duroc results. 5th place, Amy Stout. 4th place, Willow Gerber. 3rd place, Chapel Gerber. 2nd place, Connor Sides. And 1st place, Holt Gerber. And also, if I could have first call of Class 1 hams. First call of Class 1 hams.
Last call, red blacks. Last call, red blacks. Y'all can start bringing your AOCs up.
So you guys go and ringside. Go ahead and congratulate these young men here on your red drive. Won't re-talk them. Not a ton of numbers, probably in any one breed, and we'll keep them moving. But we just talked about all of them, how you like them, where we probably needed to change each and every one of them. But I still think you had quality throughout those particular classes. Bring them out. For me, it's still relatively logical in terms of one that's for the squarest, the best built one, the most flexible one that still has extras in terms of just bone, hair, shape, and spread. I like the young man that wins your middleweight class to be champion. Congratulations to him. But you get that one out of here, and it gets a little bit closer. You can kind of have some talk or discussions amongst yourself because, you know, the lightweight, for as much, probably as much feeding window as that one still has left, has neat pieces a guy could have fun feeding on. Is there enough of him today? You know, the one that wins the heavyweight class in terms of build and design falls in line. Is that one maybe quite trendy enough? Is that one quite stout enough? And then you drop in the young man second place in that middleweight class, and that one is definitely just rugged and stout. You know, is that one maybe just perfect enough on his front foot set? Another one you could maybe elongate through the front third of them. So I think those are maybe your talking points there. I thought one class was specifically deeper than the rest of them. We're going to leave that pair of middles together. That'll be your reserve. Congratulations to him.
Second call, Class 1 hams. Please bring them to the arena. Second call, Class 1 hams.
Not sure which was the middle class that they're up.
Okay, and I didn't get to hear the second reserve champion calls listed.
Segner's Jewelers and Bee Cave in Fredericksburg have all you desire for Valentine's Day. Beautiful diamonds, colorful gemstones, and metals to match your taste and complete your unique look. Your perfect engagement ring awaits you at Segner's. Let them custom design a special piece or repair your favorite one. Located in the HEB Center on 71 in Bee Cave and 236 West Main in Fredericksburg, or at SegnersJewelers.com. Welcome to Segner's. Define your love. Define yourself.
At Hill Country Propane Inc., we work hard to earn your propane business. Do you need propane delivery for your home?
We're on it.
Refilling propane cylinders for your grill?
We're on it.
Filling up your RV in our easy drive-thru?
We're on it.
Savings on RV and cylinder fills?
We're on it.
For all your propane needs, choose Hill Country Propane Inc. because
we're on it.
Hill Country Propane Inc. Go propane.
Hello, my name is Greg Nebgen with 4N Cattle Company. I want to talk to you a little bit about J4 Trailer and my experience. So I was looking for a new cattle trailer, stopped by, talked to Josh, customized what I wanted. I own a local business. I want to do my business local. Prices were very competitive. I looked at trailers everywhere. They were $1,000 cheaper, if not more. I was going to buy local anyway. They beat everybody in price. And then they even delivered it. J4 Trailer, that's where I got mine.
It's our mission at Fredericksburg Veterinary Center to offer the utmost care for your animals. We provide vaccinations, full exams, surgeries, hospital services, and so much more. Unable to come in and visit us? Our team's available for farm and house calls. We strive to take care of your pets as if they were our own. To discover quality care for your animals, visit us online at www.fbgvetcenter.com or give us a call at 830-997-4308. We hope you can come join our veterinary family.
grab the mic and say, hey, that one needs to win, and we don't need to talk about it, but I still think a good trio of them driving. I guess the one I come back to is a young lady driving right here towards me is going to go ahead and lead, and as long as you don't single trait select that one, when he comes right out of the gate, we've got to make him better and deeper and bolder in his chest. You get past that, he's the best one in most other areas in this particular drive. Tall-shouldered, good-looking. He's the squarest and shapeliest out of the backside of his blade. He actually sits on the biggest hind leg of our top trio. Still bold in terms of his upper hip and his pin. Good in terms of his cage. If that one comes with a chest, I think you can grab the mic and say, hey, there's no discussion in this class, but I still think that's the one that needs to go ahead and lead. Young lady does a nice job. Young lady on my left's going to go second, and this is another one. I think there's just areas you have to appreciate that particular barrel. He's as loose-spined and loose skeleton as anything we've seen in the ring. His length of step off of both ends of his skeleton's awesome. Tall-shouldered, attractive made one. Almost works at a cost for where he is right now weight-wise in terms of he wants to look a little disproportionate. He's a little longer-sided than ideal for a show barrel. Maybe almost is so loose in his skeleton, almost wants to swim with that back right leg every once in a while. If that one bulks and masses, or, for today's setting, if you pull a rib out of him and stouten him today, but get him to heavy weights, I think can come together. Just needs to be a shot more of him in relation to that class winner. Young man does a good job driving the barrel that sits in 3, up-headed, a neat scald one that's still stout about his jaw. Another one, too, in terms of natural body shape and rib cage, you appreciate that one. That one's got to be stouter in terms of foot and ankle size. Pick that one up in his pastern set. When you get right in behind him, he maybe wants to put a little extra weight and pressure on his outside heels and toes as he goes away. But in terms of just body composition, knees up, there's a lot of good in that particular barrel. Young man comes out, kind of has an interesting one. That's a neat-headed, tall-shouldered one that kind of has a unique look with some shape out of his loin edge up front. They didn't read that one as maybe just as deep in his flank, as open in his cage, not as open in his chest as a few of those other ones, but still a nice one to sit in 4. Young man rounds out our top 5 here, and that kind of logically slid into that 5 hole in this particular class. Just had so much more market fundamentals in terms of spread, mass, and dimension in relation to some of those ones we sent back. If you want to work him up higher in the line, we've got to make him come in a bigger package, make him a nickel more coordinated and comfortable. Good class. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
Our results from Class 2 Hamps, 5th place went to Quinn Burrow, 4th place Andon Usner, 3rd place Crockett Eckhart, 2nd place Abigail Dennis, and 1st place Charlie Olfers.
Daisies blooming.
All right, first call on Class 4 Hamps.
Sundress swaying in the breeze.
First call.
I can't stop staring. You've put a spell on me, and I hope that you never decide to set me free. The way you're moving, it's got me moving my own feet. Greatest feeling that I could ever dare to dream is you forever moving next to me. Let's not waste time or take this slow. We've got miles behind but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Leaves ain't waiting, their colors changing like the times, and I'm taking, darling, would you be mine? And I hope you know I will love you for the rest of my life. Let's not waste time, we'll take this slow. You got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two.
Last call, last 4 hands. Last call, last 4 hands.
Let's not waste time, we'll take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth.
We roll into the next class. I think relative to the whole way through, a young man's barrel here in the center is going to win this particular class, and I think does so relatively easily amongst these contemporaries. Good looking one out of the gate. Good in terms of his just natural center body fill, his rib cage. Big one in terms of his upper hip and pin, but still maintains looseness of skeleton and flexibility. I'm not going to tell you he's the shapeliest one we've seen. I'd like to maybe just strengthen him ever so slightly in his top line. Almost wants to just dip a little there, and I think it's almost because we're cranking his head so high, or they're just not quite there yet, but still a nice one to go ahead and lead. Young lady logically goes second with a gilt. Tall-shouldered, shapelier one than what our class winner is in that same breath. A neat-looking gilt. She doesn't have as much anywhere in terms of spread out of the backside of her blade. She's harsher and drier about her cage, higher about her flank. If you give that one just more flesh, bulk, and mass, we could talk about flopping that top pair. Now, kind of left 3, 4, and 5 as we placed them and penned them. As you drop out the young lady here in 3, I think kind of logically needed to go third in terms of just elevation, look from the side, design. It's a very attractive type of show barrel in that same sense. He's nowhere near as stout and dense in his feature, nowhere near as bulky as that top pair of them, and that's why he goes third. Young man goes into 4 here. He's going to be just a shot more flexible than the one that comes in 5. That is one that has depth of side, shape to his cage. We've got to make him more attractive through his front third, get him shapelier on the top side of his skeleton. I put the young man there in 5 and caught up him because I think that's a gilt that is of quality and certainly deserves to be talked about because she's neat-headed, she's hairy, she's shapely. To me, looks like we're battling an injury in our upper hip, whether that happened this morning or getting off the trailer, whatever it may be. If that one can get out and go or kind of gets over that, she certainly works herself up the line. Got to kind of call her for what she is today. Nice class. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
Our results from Class 3 Hamps. 5th place, William Patusik. 4th place, Bryson Durst. 3rd place, Allison Wyrick. 2nd place, Casey Hawkins. And 1st place, Brody Byer.
attention in the hog barn. Floor prices for this year will be any hog that is 200 pounds or heavier at 40 cents. If they weigh 199 pounds or less, it's 30 cents. So 40 cents for the big ones, 30 cents for the small ones. If you want to floor your pig at the conclusion of the swine show, you need to find Rhett Schladier, and we'll have you fill out your name, ear tag number, and we will mark your hog. So once again, if you want to floor an animal, at the end of the show, find Rhett Schladier. Thanks.
If we can get the first and second place hands from the first three classes up to the arena so we can get ready for the champion hand drive, bring them to the arena. First and second place hams from the first three classes, please bring your picks to the arena. First and second place hams.
Maybe a little more challenging class, just to sift initially and then maybe place down through the line. But a young lady was always going to win in this particular class, and I think a barrow that needs to. He's alert-headed, long-necked, tall-shouldered, still shapely and square out of the backside of his blade, and good in terms of his center, body fill, depth of flank. Everything just blends and matches and proportions in that regard. And, you know, and there's another one, too, incredibly well presented. Is he maybe the stoutest one or most unique one we've seen so far today. I don't know about that, but in terms of look and just design from the side, squareness up high, and still having mobility, I think he handles his contemporaries in this particular class relatively easily. I think the young man in second, albeit is a bigger armed one, probably has a shot more rear bone than what that class winner does, and I almost call it a wash in terms of just shape up high. I think where the sword is, it's just that when you watch that one come right at you, whether you want to pick on him a little bit in terms of just the base of his chest, I've got to change him even more so, and his front foot and his front toe just set, not only to his pastern, but just what he wants, where he wants to plant them at the arena surface. If we do that, I think you can talk about a top pair of them you can go back and forth on. So we drop out the young lady there in 3. I thought that one just logically kind of slid into that 3 hole. Not the one that grabs your attention by any means when you first come out of the gate. Not quite as just, I guess, fresh appearing in terms of skin and hair. But I think if you break them down, that's a wide, naturally wide made barrel that has natural muscle, natural body shape that's comfortable in his skeleton. I didn't read him as attractive as the class winner. I didn't read him as stout as the one that goes into 2. And that's why that one kind of slides into 3. But that's a nice pig that covers a lot of fundamental basics. I think you can kind of drop 4 and 5 out together. I thought that was a close pair of them. Young man, that's a rugged made one, show barrel length, just body and proportion, neat head on him. We've got to just make him go better, especially off the front end of his skeleton. If you want to move him up, you drop that young man out there in 5. Basically, almost the same comments, but an opposite issue. That's a really good chested one that's got hairy legs. He's got a neat head. Young man's presentation's very good. Good muscle type of pig. Just doesn't want to just get as coordinated or just as comfortable off of his rear two is what we need for him to do to just get out here and go and drive to get any higher. If you want to maybe juggle 4 and 5 around, wouldn't argue with you a whole lot. An interesting class of them. Congratulations to those kids as they head out.
Our results from Class 4 Hamps. 5th place went to Strand Spinrath. 4th place, Holt Herber. 3rd place, Kyra Conley. 2nd place, Weston Herber. And 1st place, Reese Saugabill. We'll begin the Champion Hamp drive right now. Class 1 Yorks. I'm making one call. We have a small group of Yorks, so Class 1 Yorks, please come to the arena.
only 4 classes has certainly been very good, and we again talked through those classes where we liked all of them, maybe where you need to tweak each and every one of them, but man, I thought classes that were fun to go through and at the same time presented quality and presented challenges, which makes it fun just to sort livestock and put them together and look in the ring. I'm very happy with all 4 of these class winners, and then past that, I think one of them just simply is more my kind. One of them, if they hit you hard, I've been firm, if they hit you hard, you stick with your gut, and the ones that do that are the ones that tend to win shows. And again, I know these things have different end points and different end weights and all that can go into consideration later on down the road, but for me, I think one just unique in terms of elevation, look, has extra foot and bone size in comparison to maybe a few others out here, neat-headed but trendy neck, shapely, just square up high. My favorite one's that young man's barrow out of Class 1 will be your champion. Congratulations to him.
Class 2 Yorks, you can bring your picks to the arena. Class 2 Yorks, only call. I think the decision for reserve is close, at least in my mind, and I guess no disrespect to the other pair of them out here, but it's between the second place one from Class 1 and our heavyweight barrow, and I guess just to talk them real quick, young ladies, the wins Class 4, just such an attractive made one. He obviously has a weight advantage out here, but he's still shapely and fresh. He's so good looking on the side profile, and in the same sense, I guess what runs through my head, is that one as unique as maybe the champion or the other one in contention. He's not as stout in his front foot. Maybe as the drive goes on, I don't read that one maybe quite as long in terms of just his length of hip. And the one that was second in that Class 1, again, I guess we called him a freak because he is that. I don't know if he was a crypt or something, because that one looks like one that could have been left intact. But in terms of bone, in terms of just wow factor, he has to jump out at you. I said, I don't know what his endpoint is. I don't know if that one just ever gets big enough, if you will, or he might win everything and make that comment sound dumb. So I don't know. That's where my thoughts are. One of them's just too unique for me not to give him a piece of it. We're going to keep those lightweights together. He'll be your reserve. Congratulations. Our champion Hamp went to Kyle Hardison, and our reserve champion Hamp went to Taylin Toch. If you are a champion or reserve breed champion this year with the
Segner's Jewelers in Bee Cave in Fredericksburg have all you desire for Valentine's Day. Beautiful diamonds, colorful gemstones, and metals to match your taste and complete your unique look. Your perfect engagement ring awaits you at Segner's. Let them custom design a special piece or repair your favorite one. Located in the HEB Center on 71 in Bee Cave and 236 West Main in Fredericksburg, or at SegnersJewelers.com. Welcome to Segner's. Define your love. Define yourself.
At Hill Country Propane Inc., we work hard to earn your propane business. Do you need propane delivery for your home?
We're on it.
Refilling propane cylinders for your grill?
We're on it.
Filling up your RV in our easy drive-through?
We're on it.
Savings on RV and cylinder fills?
We're on it.
For all your propane needs, choose Hill Country Propane Inc. because
we're on it.
Hill Country Propane Inc. Go propane.
Well, howdy, friends. This is Paige Finley from FBG and Billy's.Live. I want to tell you about some new friends I met at J4 Trailer, a family-owned Texas trailer dealer out 290 just east of Fredericksburg. They carry utility trailers, livestock trailers, cargo trailers, and if you're looking for all the bells and whistles, they can custom build just about anything. Food trucks, car haulers, trash, or landscape trailers, whatever you need. Give them a call today, 830-997-9969, J4 Trailers. That's where I got mine.
It's our mission at Fredericksburg Veterinary Center to offer the utmost care for your animals. We provide vaccinations, full exams, surgeries, hospital services, and so much more. Unable to come in and visit us? Our team's available for farm and house calls. We strive to take care of your pets as if they were our own. To discover quality care for your animals, visit us online at www.fbgvetcenter.com or give us a call at 830-997-4308. We hope you can come join our veterinary family.
lot of give and take, I guess, in this particular Yorkshire class. So we're going to actually leave them same way we penned them off. A young man here in front of me is going to go ahead and lead with his barrow, and I think does so in terms of just density of feature, size of a blade and arm, in terms of shape and spread up high, in terms of just heavy dutiness of skeleton. He's the best one in class in all of those areas, quite frankly, and still can give you a nice enough look on the side level in terms of his lines. I'm not going to tell you he's the trendiest one up front. We've got to clean him on the top side of his neck. I need to probably change him in terms of front foot set and the way he drives right at you, just to say, hey, that one wins for fun, and there's no argument or discussion, but I still think a nice one to go ahead and lead. Young man's Guild on the far side is going to go second, and that one on a side profile paints about as good of a picture as you could ask for. Tall-shouldered, an incredibly attractive look on the side, and still maintains squareness coming and going. I don't know if I read her just as dense in her skeleton. She's not as show ready, if you will, in terms of just natural body shape and curvature to her cage. I didn't read her as stout in terms of just her skull or mug or cheek or her jaw. Kind of stouting her up or get her a little more full or fleshy today, and I think you can happily flop that pair of them. I think the young lady's barrel on the far side logically goes third and almost looks, I guess, a little more Yorkshire-like, if you will, in a traditional Yorkshire setting in terms of its head and maybe ear set and neck. And again, I don't read that one maybe as attractive there. I don't think that one has as much shape or just boldness out of the backside of its blade as the pair ahead, but a well-presented, good-built one. Just maybe have to have a shot more, clean him through his front third. Drop out our young lady there in 4 and young man there in 5. I thought slid ahead of their contemporaries just in regards to muscle and mass and dimension. Young ladies comes out there, just has a shot more true shape and expression on the top side of her skeleton. Another one, again, we've got to maybe reconstruct a little, open that one in terms of natural body fill and ribcage shape. Young man that rounds out our class probably has a slight advantage there in terms of the center portion of its body. The one, though, of our top 5, I maybe need to change the most in the way he comes or goes. Have to have more true shape and expression up high. Interesting group of them. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
First call, Class 1, white OPBs. First call, Class 1, white OPBs.
Tell your pit committee that's not.
If you're done showing for the day, you are welcome to load out now. If you're done showing, you can load out. Just please be mindful of everyone still in the barn. Our results from the Class 1 York class: 5th place, Aiden Harvey; 4th place, Caroline Haley; 3rd place, Emma Schlitter; 2nd place, Cole Rains; and 1st place, Tyler Pollock.
Just 4 of them here, non-negotiable. incredible. Young lady to my right wins and does so very quickly. That's the one that looks the most like a modern-day show barrow. He's neat-headed, but still stout in his jaw, hairy, shapely up high. He's big in terms of his feature, and it's just incredibly pliable and loose about his skeleton. He almost is maybe still just a little immature as he leaves you in terms of maybe not having quite as much there as what you might anticipate when he first comes out. But I think certainly we're not at his end point yet. Needs to win the class. A very well presented one. Good show pig to go ahead and start. I think 2, 3, and 4 you can have a lot more discussion and talking points. I like the young man to my right to go ahead and go second. And for me, ultimately, I'm just most comfortable with this one's build second most in relation to the other pair of them. He's more square than maybe one of them, maybe a notch more flexible than the other one. Still has a stout mug on him, offers you some topside spread and dimension. In that same breath, he's nowhere near as attractive as what the class winner is. He probably needs to be a shot longer and only length of neck from blade to ear set, but length of hip as well if you want to run with the one that's going to go ahead and win. Our younger man to my right is going to go ahead and slide into 3, and I think this is one that maybe better days are ahead, if you will. Probably could get a shot more shape up high. If this one comes with a little stouter feature, we could move it up as well. Neater headed than the one in second. Another pliable skeleton one that is probably a shot longer in terms of his hip. I didn't read him as dense. I didn't read him as shapely as the one ahead of him. Young lady does a good job driving that one in 4. And if you want to look at that one and say, hey, I like that one, we should need to move that one up because that one's tall shouldered. That one has maybe a little more shape than 1 or 2 others. I wouldn't argue with you in that regard. I like that barrow in those instances. It's for me in relation of our 4 of them in this particular class. He to me is the most restricted off of both ends of his skeleton. Relax him in his shoulder, lengthen him in his hip. We could ride him up higher. Nice quartet of them. Give those kids a nice round of applause as they head out.
Last call, Class 1 white OPBs. Last call, Class 1 white OPBs. The results from Class 2 Yorks: 4th place, JC Tribes. 3rd place, Clayton Sides. 2nd place, Audie Usner. And 1st place, Reese Sagabill. You're welcome. How many classes of white OPBs are there? 3?
Small Yorkshire show here, just 2 of them. Class winners we just got done talking about. I think one of them, for me, is just, I guess, my kind and has those extras that's going to take it a bigger level. If this one can just get more in the seat of his pants as the next weeks go on, I think he could have a fun time later on. Very unique one. I like the young lady there on the far side to be your champion. Congratulations to her. Drop that young man 2nd place one in. Again, we just talked. You maybe relax that one in terms of shoulder blade, lengthen that one's neck. Young man's class winner out of that light class. Another one just in terms of heavy dutiness to skeleton. Had more shape and mass and just center body than the one that goes 2nd in that class. I think you compare that one, compare this pair of them, the decision's maybe a little easier than I thought it was going to be. I like the young man that wins Class 1 to be reserved. Congratulations to him.
Our champion Hamp went to Reese Sagabill, and our reserve champion, York, excuse me. Went quick. Champion York went to Reese Sagabill, and our reserve champion went to Tyler Pollock. Yeah. Thanks. Second call, Class 2.
Segner's Jewelers and Bee Cave in Fredericksburg have all you desire for Valentine's Day. Beautiful diamonds, colorful gemstones, and metals to match your taste and complete your unique look. Your perfect engagement ring awaits you at Segner's. Let them custom design a special piece or repair your favorite one. Located in the HEB Center on 71 in Bee Cave and 236 West Main in Fredericksburg, or at segnersjewelers.com. Welcome to Segner's. Define your love. Define yourself.
At Hill Country Propane Inc., we work hard to earn your propane business. Do you need propane delivery for your home?
We're on it.
Refilling propane cylinders for your grill?
We're on it.
Filling up your RV and our easy drive-through?
We're on it.
Savings on RV and cylinder fills?
We're on it.
For all your propane needs, choose Hill Country Propane Inc. because
we're on it.
Hill Country Propane Inc. Go propane.
Hello, my name is Greg Nebgen with 4N Cattle Company. I want to talk to you a little bit about J4 Trailer and my experience. So I was looking for a new cattle trailer, stopped by, talked to Josh, customized what I wanted. I own a local business. I want to do my business local. Prices were very competitive. I looked at trailers everywhere. They were $1,000 cheaper, if not more. I was going to buy local anyway. They beat everybody in price. And then they even delivered it. J4 Trailer, that's where I got mine.
It's our mission at Fredericksburg Veterinary Center to offer the utmost care for your animals. We provide vaccinations, full exams, surgeries, hospital services, and so much more. Unable to come in and visit us? Our team's available for farm and house calls. We strive to take care of your pets as if they were our own. To discover quality care for your animals, visit us online at www.fbgvetcenter.com or give us a call at 830-997-4308. We hope you can come join our veterinary family.
OPBs. And again, I think a nice trio of them here on the top end. For me, I like the young man in blue's Guilt to go ahead and lead. And I think that's the combination pig of this particular drive. She's bold in her chest as she comes out. She's so flexible and comfortable and pliable in terms of her skeleton. But she's not just a build hog. She has true spread up high. She's wide coming. She's wide leaving you. And everything just fits and blends and matches. She's not the freakiest one or the EST one out here. But she's the one that combines the most of the best and still has some extras in terms of just spread and density. I think from there, the young lady's barreled in the purple here needs to go ahead and go second. And we're obviously probably 2 months away from his end point. But I think his design, his look, his comfortability, his skeleton, length of step and stride are certainly to be admired. Get on top of him is where he gets beat today. And I think that's okay for what his end goal probably is. When that one masses and bulks up high, if you can keep that kind of look, that kind of build, that kind of hind leg, it could sure get fun later on. I think that's a nice top pair of them. Young man in orange doing a good job driving one that doesn't want to be a show barrow today and maybe works to his disadvantage a little bit, because I think that one rivals our top pair of them in terms of just flexibility. That one probably has just a shot more shape up high. I didn't read him maybe quite as long stepping off at either end, and that's why that one needs to go 3. Young man brings out just a stouty here in 4. It's a stout mug, big arm type of barrel. It still has extra shape up high. I love those things about him. I didn't read him as clean on the top side of his neck or through his throat and his jawline. Maybe didn't read him as elevated as a few of those other ones. The young man that pops out there, young lady that was driving it earlier, I don't know if this one's just tying up on him or what's going on, because I think, again, we judge pigs on the move. If you could just put these on a stand or pose them, this is probably the most impressive one on the stand in terms of show barrow proportions, height, the shoulder, hair, shape, all those cool things to talk about in that one are very, very, very good. Well, he's just got to go. If that one comes out here and can go, then he can get to the top in a hurry. Hopefully that can come later on, because there's a lot of good in that one. Interesting group of them. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
Results from Class 1 white OPBs. 5th place went to Bailey Groby. 4th place, Holt Herber. 3rd place, Crockett Eckhart. 2nd place, Mackenzie Wyrick. And 1st place, Chapel Herber. First call, Class 1, dark OPBs. First call, Class 1, dark OPBs.
attention in the show barn. If anyone is interested, they're going to begin the cutting torch competition in the Ag Mech building, and they'll begin that in about 5 minutes. So if you want to go over there and watch, you're invited to come.
A nice class of them, and I guess the final class of your white OPVs, and I think a challenging group of them because lots of quality in this particular class. And I kind of land on the pair of young men out here just for the ones that I think they're more unique. I think they bring more extras to the table, and the one I keep coming back to is our youngest young man right here in front of me. And he's got a good cheering section, too. But I think this one, to me, is just unique. He's the hardest one to make in regards, he's tall-shouldered, he's big about his arm, he's shaggy in terms of just his hair, coat, and his texture. And that same thing, he still has just some true muscle up high. He's proportionate in his center body. Again, another one. We've kind of talked looseness of skeleton. I love that one, just length of step. And honestly, I think he also looks like he's on his way up, not on his way down. He looks like we could probably get ready to roll with him and to get more shape. He's maybe still a nickel more immature as he leaves us, but still, I think comfortable, very good one that has some extras. And I think the young man that goes second was close because this one probably has just a shot more upper cage today. Another one, he is a nickel more moderate, which helps him in that regard. He's square about his hind leg. He's good looking. I didn't read him as maybe quite as tall-shouldered. I didn't read him as maybe just quite as square or comfortable in his front foot is what that class winner was, but muscle, shape, everything fits and blends. I thought that was a nice pair of them. A young lady coming out in 3 there. I think one, again, maybe doesn't want to quite cooperate and be a show pig today. Tall shoulder, gives you a neat look on the side profile. He's level about his spine. In the same sense, I think when you compare him to that top pair of them, he runs out of gas in terms of foot, ankle, and arm size. I didn't read him as long about his hip or just maybe as relaxed about his shoulder, but in terms of just a muscle hog that has shape and spread, he certainly offers you that. A young man there in 4, another one, does a good job driving that barrel. Probably has just a nickel more comfort than the one ahead of him in that same sense. He wants to be just a little plainer about his head and his neck. I've got a stout in that one in terms of just his skull and his jawline. We drop out the young man's gilt there in 5. Another one, maybe similar to the one in 4. I think runs out of extras, need to be denser about his feature, her feature, excuse me, and skeleton, but one that you loved in relation to some of those others that we got sent back in terms of just levelness and build. Good class of them. Congratulate those kids. And we round out with our young man there. Sorry, young man, another one. A gilt that's in the length of spine. Flexibility is good. Just have to have more of her to move her up. Put your hands together and congratulate those kids as they head out.
Last call, Class 1, dark OPB barrows. Last call, Class 1, dark OPB barrows.
Drop out your two white OPB class winners here. Our young men are driving. I think both of them just have tons and tons of quality. And again, I think it's just you should be proud of them. Again, showing barrows versus gilts maybe doesn't help sometimes in that aspect of trying to beat a good barrow. But at the same time, I think one of them still decidedly is a nickel stouter featured. He's, I think, a more genuine and harder to make. I like the young man that wins that heavy class to be your champion. Congratulations to him. Drop that second place out. I think a good pair of them. We kind of talked that young man's gilt in terms of just athleticism and just length of step. You have to admire that about her. And we just got done talking about the barrow there in terms of just shape and true muscularity. I think you kind of stick them side by side. I think one of them still just a notch denser, a notch shapelier, a notch taller shouldered. We'll leave that pair of heavies together. Congratulations to that young man.
Our results for the Class 2 white OPBs, 5th place and 4th place, both went to Aiden Stout. 3rd place, Bailey Groby. 2nd place, Reed Spees. And 1st place, Connor Sides. And coming out of our Class 2 white OPBs, our champion white OPB went to Connor Sides, reserve champion, Reed Spees. Congrats, boys.
Segner's Jewelers in Bee Cave in Fredericksburg have all you desire for Valentine's Day. Beautiful diamonds, colorful gemstones, and metals to match your taste and complete your unique look. Your perfect engagement ring awaits you at Segner's. Let them custom design a special piece or repair your favorite one. Located in the HEB Center on 71 in Bee Cave and 236 West Main in Fredericksburg, or at segnersjewelers.com. Welcome to Segner's. Define your love. Define yourself.
At Hill Country Propane Inc., we work hard to earn your propane business. Do you need propane delivery for your home?
We're on it.
Refilling propane cylinders for your grill?
We're on it.
Filling up your RV in our easy drive-through?
We're on it.
Savings on RV and cylinder fills?
We're on it.
For all your propane needs, choose Hill Country Propane Inc. because
we're on it.
Hill Country Propane Inc. Go propane.
Well, howdy, friends. This is Paige Finley from FBG and Billy's.Live. I want to tell you about some new friends I met at J4 Trailer, a family-owned Texas trailer dealer out 290 just east of Fredericksburg. They carry utility trailers, livestock trailers, cargo trailers, and if you're looking for all the bells and whistles, they can custom build just about anything. Food trucks, car haulers, trash, or landscape trailers, whatever you need. Give them a call today, 830-997-9969, J4 Trailers. That's where I got mine.
It's our mission at Fredericksburg Veterinary Center to offer the utmost care for your animals. We provide vaccinations, full exams, surgeries, hospital services, and so much more. Unable to come in and visit us? Our team's available for farm and house calls. We strive to take care of your pets as if they were our own. To discover quality care for your animals, visit us online at www.fbgvetcenter.com or give us a call at 830-997-4308. We hope you can come join our veterinary family.
Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Paige Finley with Fbg.Live. You're taking a look at the Dark OPB Class 1. We've had a great day already this morning with all the drives that we've had so far. We're about halfway through with the Swine Show. And I want to thank, we got almost 450 of you that have joined us so far this morning, and currently about 70 that are watching these athletes in the arena there. I especially want to just take a moment to thank a couple of sponsors, Segner's Jewelers, for being our title sponsor, which means they've sponsored they're our main sponsor. They've sponsored all the shows in a major way and made this possible for you to watch at home. And secondly, I want to thank you for watching from home, but without these sponsors, you wouldn't be able to do that. So, secondly, I want to thank, let's see, we've got, who are the sponsors of these particular shows today? Pulling up that list now. Yeah, here it is. Of course, Hill Country Propane, our all-show sponsor, and here at the Swine Show, J. Ford Trailer and Fredericksburg Vet Center. So thanks again for joining us. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day in our shows.
Showers in the month of May. The ground's still wet and the sky's still gray, but you're still shining. No cadences or chords to play, no melodies or words to say, but you're still singing.
Getting into these dark OPBs here. Now, this was a fun class, really the whole way through. We sent 2 or 3 of them back in this class that I think are good show pigs that have got a lot of future, depending on, I guess, how they respond to a feed bucket or weight management, etc. And I think this pair of them out here suit me incredibly well for what they represent and what they are. And I'm not going to tell you either one of them's perfect, because I think one of them's probably a notch better and more relaxed in his forearm and is taller shouldered. I think the other one's denser featured, just maybe a little more appropriate in terms of just center body shape and cavity, and maybe just has some extras. So kind of one of those, fix one in one area, and that's where the other one's good, back and forth. But I'd happily have either one of these, I guess, on our show string and be darn happy to drag them to a show. I like the young lady's kind of Berkshire appearing gilt to go ahead and start and lead, and that's the one for me. I think just has so many extras. It's kind of undeniable in this particular setting. She's so stout mug, but clean jawed, level in her line, good in terms of her hind leg, has an advantage in terms of just foot and arm size over what her class winner. If you want to just, hey, fire off on that one, we've got to relax her a little bit in her forearm. For me, I'd like to pick her up at the height of her shoulder, and I think that's what makes the decision so close. I love a lot of things that the spotted male represents. His elevation, his look, his squareness and strength to his front foot in that particular breed, I think is almost hard to do a lot of times. I love that about him. He's maybe not just as dense, he's maybe not as just bold in his center body is what that class winner is, but that darn sure looks like one that's fun to be feeding on as we go down the road. Good job to both of those exhibitors on our top end. A young lady, maybe, I guess, similar to a Hamp you drove earlier. I think you just hit an incredibly good class. And this one reminds me a lot of your Hamp, because he is absolutely dialed in from a skin and hair standpoint. He is maxed out to the T in terms of shape and spread up high. You love all of those things about him. I didn't read him maybe as unique through his head and his neck. I didn't read him quite as coordinated or long stepping from hock to ground as what that top pair were. But, man, that's a burly, big-chested one that's got an incredibly shapely back. track. And again, I guess it'd be fun to see what he does down the road, because there's some parts and pieces there that are very, very hard to do. My compliments to that young lady. A young man driving the Poland Appearing Gilt was one, again, I thought in terms of look, in terms of build, in terms of comfort level, deserved a pin. And then still, she's got a big back and a big cage working in her in relation to that top trio. We ran out of look up front. We maybe ran out of foot and bone size, I guess. But if that one's got a paper, she's very competitive in that particular arena. And then the young lady that drops out, again, I think another well-presented one, awesome-looking one on the side profile, comfortable in terms of length of step, have to stout in that Barrows feature. Got to give him a shot more shape up high. Good class of them. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
Results from our Class 1 Dark OPBs. 5th place went to Casey Hawkins. 4th place, Cole Rains. 3rd place, Landry Ottmers. 2nd place, Creighton Rains. And 1st place, Talon Toch. We'll have a first call, Class 3 Dark OPBs. First call, Class 3 Dark OPBs.
Forever moving next to me. Let's not waste time, or take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Leaves ain't waiting, their colors changing like the times. And I'm taking, darling, would you be mine? And I hope you know I will love you for the rest of my life. Let's not waste time, or take this slow. We got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Let's not waste time, or take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Yeah, you and I as one will always be better than two.
particular breed, and I think the contrasting, just a class of them in general, we're going to leave them pretty much how we penned them off. A young lady in pink here closest to me is going to go ahead and start, and I think Hamloin Junction Ford, she absolutely has to win. She's stout mug, good about her jaw, shapely and square out of the backside of her blade, good about her chest and her front knee as she comes at you. I'm not going to try and convince anyone that I prefer her hip and hind leg, but I think that's maybe going to be a sort in this particular class. She always comes back to square from hock to ground, but she almost wants to swivel too much for me east and west. If we could fix her there, I think you can just grab the mic and kind of go off, lengthen that one's hip, and we've got a rock star. That said, I still think that's the one that needs to go ahead and lead in this particular drive. Young lady with the bigger spot to my right is going to go second, and I think that one's look, that one's design. Again, squareness of knee and chest, shape up high is good. Didn't read that one as just as bold or bulky in the center portion of his body. He's not as open in terms of his rib cage, and I really don't know if his length of stride is any advantage over that class winner. Still, his look, his design, his profile allow him to go ahead and go into 2. Our youngest young lady here in front of me goes 3. That one's topside shape and muscle expression is awesome. I love that about that particular barrel. He's maybe a harder one to get a read on in regards to just maybe not wanting to drive for, but when he actually picks his head up, he has you a good look up front. He's one in relation to our top pair. I didn't think offered as many extras. I don't think that barrel has as much as true foot or toe size or spread as what the pair above him do. Drop out our young lady there in 4. And I think from a practicality standpoint, that's a barrel that's got bone. He has center body. He has some spread and dimension and volume to him in that same sense. We need to inject a lot of muscular shape and expression. We've got to clean him up and change his skull shape for me if we're going to move him up any higher. Young man that comes out there in 5, almost opposite end. If you could kind of put the bulk and spread of the one on 4 on this one, we can side him up a spot. His elevation, his length of neck, his look on the side's good. There just has to be more pig there if you need to talk about shoving him up higher in class. Congratulate those 5 kids as they head out.
Logan Wyrick. 4th place, Carson Bache. 3rd place, Amelia Haley. 2nd place, Mackenzie Wyrick. And 1st place, JC Tribes. If the first and second place dark OPVs from class 1 and 2 want to make their way to the arena to get ready for the champion drive, first and second place dark OPVs class 1 and 2, please.
Pair of them again. Both these young men would be happy to drag this kind along any day. I like the young man's Berkshire appearing one on the far side to go ahead and lead, and I think break him down. That thing is awesome in terms of his center body cavity. He's stout about his mug, but still for his weight and size, clean enough through his jaw and his cheek and his throat. Massive up high. He's got a big upper hip and pin working in him and a high leg that won't quit. And, you know, critics ringside will say, hey, he needs to be a nickel stronger in terms of his front foot set, and I'd agree with you there. I'd pick him up there at nickel. It doesn't affect mobility or range of motion at all. I think that's a nice one to go ahead and lead. Young man's spot appearing barrel there in 2, another one. I thought a very good top pair of them. That's a bold chest and a big blade working in him when he comes out. He's shapely, expressive, square-backed up high, specifically out of the back of his blade. Big in his upper hip and pin and carries it true and square to the ground. I didn't read him. Maybe it's just robust in terms of his center body. He's not as dense in terms of his foot or his ankle, but that's a good pair of them on the top end. Young lady maybe runs into a buzzsaw top pair because I think this one's got a lot of quality in her own right. I think when that one sticks her mug out the gate, you like her in terms of skull-shaped jaw. Levelness of back's good. I didn't read that one. It is square from hip hock to ground is what our top pair was. That one doesn't maybe blend quite as much in our ham-loin junction. Young man that drops out there in 4, I think kind of logically does so. Just a meaty type of animal, if you will. He's got volume and mass. I didn't read that one. It's just being as descriptive in terms of his muscle pattern. Nowhere near as much shape to his loin edge as some of the ones ahead. Young man that drops out there 5, I thought kind of slid logically into that 5 hole with his gilt there. She's shapely, has expression up high, has some height of shoulder. I didn't read her. It's just as comfortable or relaxed in terms of her shoulder blade. Certainly needs to drop her flank to move her up. Nice class. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
Results from Class 3 Dark OPVs. 5th place went to Brody Byer. 4th place, Clark Cranewelge. 3rd place, Bailey Groby. 2nd place, Andon Usner. 1st place, Weston Herber. And a little note, we have found some keys. So I have them right here where I'm announcing. They were left at the bleachers. If you're missing your truck keys, you got them.
you bring your 3 class winners out. And I think, honestly, when the first pair in the first class came in, I got excited. And then I thought you ended with a pair of them in the heavy class that you could get excited about as well. And as no disrespect to some of those other ones or middleweights, I thought the first and last classes, especially on the top end, were very, very good. And quite honestly, I think, you bring them out here. I think our pair from class 1 are almost the younger version of what our pair from class 3 would have looked like, I guess, at that size and weight, because I think they're very similar in terms of just extras, density of feature, stoutness of mug. But, for me right now, there's one of them out here that's just more show ready. I think one, again, if those front feet can hold or stay good enough, can be very good. I like the young man's Barrett to my right to be your champion. Congratulations to him.
First call, Class 1 crosses.
He dropped that young man second place heavy in, and we just got done talking in terms of just chest floor, front foot set, shape up high. I think that's a very good one. He maybe ran out of just bone and foot size in relation, and even some just a shape of rib cage and depth of flank to what that class winner does. And I think that rings true when you compare him to the other one in contention out here. I like that young lady out of class 1 to go ahead and be reserved. Congratulations to her.
Champion Dark OPB went to Weston Herber. Reserve Champion Dark OPB went to Miss Taylin Toch.
Segner's Jewelers in Bee Cave in Fredericksburg have all you desire for Valentine's Day. Beautiful diamonds, colorful gemstones, and metals to match your taste and complete your unique look. Your perfect engagement ring awaits you at Segner's. Let them custom design a special piece or repair your favorite one. Located in the HEB Center on 71 in Bee Cave and 236 West Main in Fredericksburg, or at segnersjewelers.com. Welcome to Segner's. Define your love. Define yourself.
At Hill Country Propane Inc., we work hard to earn your propane business. Do you need propane delivery for your home?
We're on it.
Refilling propane cylinders for your grill?
We're on it.
Filling up your RV and our easy drive-through?
We're on it.
Savings on RV and cylinder fills?
We're on it.
For all your propane needs, choose Hill Country Propane Inc. because
we're on it.
Hill Country Propane Inc. Go propane.
Hello, my name is Greg Nebgen with 4N Cattle Company. I want to talk to you a little bit about J4 Trailer and my experience. So I was looking for a new cattle trailer, stopped by, talked to Josh, customized what I wanted. I own a local business. I want to do my business local. Prices were very competitive. I looked at trailers everywhere. They were $1,000 cheaper, if not more. I was going to buy local anyway. They beat everybody in price. And then they even delivered it. J4 Trailer, that's where I got mine.
It's our mission at Fredericksburg Veterinary Center to offer the utmost care for your animals. We provide vaccinations, full exams, surgeries, hospital services, and so much more. Unable to come in and visit us? Our team's available for farm and house calls. We strive to take care of your pets as if they were our own. To discover quality care for your animals, visit us online at www.FbgVetCenter.com or give us a call at 830-997-4308. We hope you can come join our veterinary family.
Well, I have a minute. Let me thank you again for joining us today and remind you about tomorrow's coverage of the Saturday sale. We'll start things about 1 o'clock. At least our coverage will begin about 1 o'clock, and we'll run through the end of the sale. So looking at probably about 7 hours of coverage tomorrow. So I hope you'll join us then. And again, special thanks to our sponsors, all show sponsor, Hill Country Propane. If you have propane needs at your business or at your home, they're on it. And also, extra special thanks to our title sponsor, Segner's Jewelers, with locations in Fredericksburg and Bee Cave. All right, well, we're about to start our final class, or excuse me, our final breed of crosshairs, the show pigs here. So we'll get that going, and I'll hush, and we'll get right to it.
First call, Class 2 crosses. First call, Class 2 crosses.
This is a very good class of show pigs. 5'6". I told the young lady we let out. There was even one we let out. I thought was a very good one. And I think, I'd be happy if these kids should be happy to be driving animals like this. One of them's just flat my kind. A young man right here in front of me is going to win this particular class. And I think that one, he's heavy duty in terms of foot, bone, arm, but he's tall shouldered. He's longer necked and then taller at the point of his shoulder. Awesome foot and toe set. That one's dead square, shapely up high. I think that's a good show pig. And take nothing away from that one in second, because that one certainly could be fun to talk about on a microphone because that one, where he's good, he's an absolute monster. He is. It's a man in terms of his skull. He's got massive toes. He's big in terms of his arm. Ginormous. That's probably the biggest and widest hind leg we've seen today. Skin and hair's on point. I didn't read him. He's not as elevated. He's naturally not as long-necked as that class winner. Maybe wants to push ever so slightly, and I think that's part of him. He's fighting the whip. And if things go right, maybe similar to one of those hams we talked about earlier, that thing's got a lot of pieces you can't put in with a feed bucket. Young lady and 3, really young ladies and 3 and 4, and young man and 5, you ran into 2 buzzsaws because I think this one's a very good show pig in his own right. He's bendy skeleton. He's flexible. He's got an awesome hind leg. He naturally runs uphill. He's good in terms of his center body cavity. He's not as out there as that top pair. He's not as dense in his feature. But I would never hang my head to drive one that looks like that. That's a nice pig. Young lady, I'm going to assume your day's going to be in the light cross ring here before too long because I think that's a good light cross barrel. He's his perfect length of body. He naturally runs uphill. He's good about his head. Still square about his hind leg. He maybe wants to paddle ever so slightly going away. He doesn't have as much as bone or true feature as those 3 above him, but that'd be a fun one to show against other ones of his color. And you bring the young man out. Honestly, young man, we're a stronger front foot away from maybe stepping up a spot or 2, because I think if you make this guy a little more comfortable on his front foot, he's wicked. He's got a wicked look. He's got a massive hind leg. His feeding or whoever's been feeding on him, I think he's just perfect in terms of shape and body feel. Just have to change that one area of him. Awesome class of them. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
Place went to Crossin Rains. 4th place, Emma Schleder. 3rd place, Landry Ottmers. 2nd place, Kyle Hardison. And 1st place, Cole Rains.
of them, and I think a trio of them here that sort themselves quickly, at least in my mind. And again, I think they're all, for me, a glaring spot away from saying, hey, that one wins the class. We've got to change one of them just in terms of their chest and their knee coming at you. There's another one that's so good, Hamlin Junction Ford, that's got kind of a hitch in their get-up in terms of just what they want to do with their rear leg. And then there's another one that's the squarest and probably truest at the arena surface that just needs more bone and foot size. So I guess if you're watching, you probably know which all of those three are. We stick with what we've done all day. A young lady to my right, and the black's going to have your class winner. And for me, that's just the truest one. He's the most genuine in his chest and his hind leg. He's the most comfortable one in terms of his build and his look. He's not the heaviest boned one. He's got to come with a shot more to say, hey, he absolutely wins the class, no questions asked. And I think he's on his way up. His maturity pattern fits where he's at. Again, I'd like to stouten his feature, and then we could just fire off and kind of go on about our day. I think 2 and 3 is where it got really, really close for me, because I'll be the first one to tell you, I think both of these are probably a shot more unique than what the class winner is, but I also think they both come with a more glaring issue, at least in this person's mind. I like the young lady's belted gilt on the far side to go ahead and go 2, and I think when she first came in, to be honest, I thought the class was over, because that one, Hamlin Ford, man, you can get excited in a hurry. She looks expensive. She very well probably is expensive or be expensive to buy, because where she's good, she's very, very good. A lot in this particular setting, we didn't drive them terribly long. For me, she just wants to go a little too far east and west out of her hind leg. If she can go north and south a little better there, we can run with that one. That's a very unique animal in her own right. Young man's kind of blue-dotted one here that goes 3. Again, another one, when I thought he first came in on a side profile and hind leg and bone and hair standpoint, that one, again, can get you very, very, very excited. We've kind of talked about it all day, and it's one guy's opinion. It's where we put a lot of priority. This one's a chest and knee view away from being able to fire off on as well. I've got to fix him there. I love his look. I love his head. His shape and his body's good. Hind legs, awesome. I've just got to fix him there, like we've talked on several today. Awesome top trio of them in that particular class. Again, young lady, you run into a good class. This is a good black barrel popping out. Again, a comfortable made one, loose in his skeleton, not as dense in terms of his feature. Another one we've got to open and pry apart in terms of the base of his chest floor, but his squareness of back, his body fill, his hip and hind leg, skin and hair presentation, all that's on point. Young man's just got a good practical type of barrel, kind of a rugged made type of animal that still has flexibility, a build, has shape and spread up high. I didn't see that one as big or as strong in his front foot set. He doesn't leave you and hit the arena surface going away with as much in terms of just his hip and his stifle and his inner leg as what a few of those others do. Awesome class. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
All right, results from Class 2 Crossbred. 5th place, Andon Usner. 4th place, Emma Schleder. 3rd place, Creighton Rains. 2nd place, Landry Ottmers. And 1st place, Reese Saugabill.
Hey, another nice class of them, and again, maybe one of those classes there's a little more give and take, I guess, than you would deem ideal, but I still think quality the entire way throughout. Ultimately, I guess I just bounced them around a couple times in my head, to be totally truthful, but the one I'm most comfortable with and keep coming back to is that young lady's thin-belted gilt there in the center of the ring, and I think, I guess, once we just start to break these things down for what they are, she's tall-shouldered, she's attractive, she's level in her line, she's comfortable and secure in terms of her foot and her step. You know, I don't know if she's just as big-footed or as big-armed as a couple of them, and still, you know, you could probably pick on her in that area. I think you break them down, she's the best one in terms of just overall build, combination, still looks like a show pig and still has some extras up high in terms of just shape and density. The one that, man, when they hit the ring, I thought the class was over and we weren't going to have to say a whole lot, is the young lady's painted up bear right here in front of me, because, man, that one lights you up real quick, and he lit me up when he came in. He hit me incredibly hard in terms of his skull, his chest, the size of his forearm and his blade, his shape and spread up high is awesome. And again, I guess unfortunately it's kind of one of those things you just to be truthful, I almost tried to convince myself to use him, and I just can't with what he's doing on his back left leg. He's almost wanting to put his weight on his inside toe and actually throw his hock inward. If we can change him there, I could get very excited about that one. I just couldn't convince myself that we could do that for what we've done today. Young lady's blue one in 3 again. I think this one has a lot of versatility, specifically maybe in a breeding show, because I think we can see where she needs to be better. We've got to pick her up off her dew claws. We've got to make her trendier on the top side of her neck. Past that, that's a stout-skulled, square-backed, deep-bodied, big-caged one that's big in her hip, big in her hind leg, and for a hind leg that size, a pig that color, she uses it incredibly well. We've just got to change those small things up front if we want to move her up. Young man drops out here in 4, and again, maybe one we pen pretty quick because his look and his design on the side, his comfortability, his skeleton is fantastic. He runs out of shape and gas and muscular expression in relation to the trio ahead of him. A young man, maybe an opposite style and story. That one in terms of squareness and spread and shape up high is awesome. He's not as trendy through the front third of his skeleton. He's not as comfortable or long stepping out of his hip or his hind leg. Interesting group of them. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
Results from Class 3 crosses. 5th place went to Aiden Stout. 4th place, Strand Spinrath. 3rd place, Leighton Haley. 2nd place, Reese Saugabill. And 1st place, Talon Toch.
fairly logically. Young lady's painted up gilt, needs to win this particular class. Combination pig at drive in terms of stoutness of skull, good about her center body, still has spread on the top side of her skeleton, has enough in terms of bone and foot and feature. Very, very good and just comfortable and correct in terms of her just skeletal assembly. And still won, I think, relatively handers or contemporaries with ease in this particular drive. I think just as easily as that one wins, the young man's Calico Barrow needs to go second. I think, again, just kind of follows suit. He looks like a show barrow in terms of skull shape, in terms of spread and shape on the top side of his skeleton. Has a big upper hip and pin, a good running gear. He's not as bold or dense in terms of the center portion of his body. He's maybe not just as mean in terms of his look coming right at you as what that class winner is. That's still a good kind of show barrow. Young man's blue one in 3 there. He's on the side, can run with our top trio of them in terms of elevation, look in front of his blade, levelness of spine, length of step. You love all those things about him. When you got to get on top of him, get in behind him, he's the flattest option of our top trio. He's the plainest as he leaves you in terms of muscle, but his build, his look, his design is to be commended. Young man drops out in 4. Similar type of story. That's just pliability of skeleton and squareness in relation to some others. Up-headed type of show pig. There's just got to be more to him. He's almost teeter-tottering on being too long-sided. We need to drop his flank and open his cage. Drop out our last exhibitor there in pen 5, our young man. I thought caught a pen in relation to the ones we sent back because he has a tall-shouldered gilt. She's good in terms of her squareness. She has some flexibility, has some stoutness of skull. Same type of story. There just needs to be more genuine pig there if we're going to move them up any higher. Good class. Congratulate those kids as they head out.
First and second place crosses. If you want to be in the champion drive, please bring them on. Mape Rush was 5th. 4th place, Liam Pittman. 3rd place, Gage Bryant. 2nd place, Brazos Herber. And 1st place, Talon Toch.
Showers in the month of May. The ground's still wet and the sky's still gray, but you're still shining. No cadences or chords to play, no melodies or words to say, but you're still singing, and it keeps me fall apart to a million pieces when I don't know where to start. You put me back together. You put me back together again.
Champion reserve breed champions. If you start making your way to the arena, we'll get you pinned. Champion reserve breed
Through your
champion.
tear-filled eyes and your hands that shake, darling, I'll be steady when you're at the end of your tired rope, when you're feeling trapped and just need to go, darling, I'll be
So as we
ready
kind of get wrapped
when
up
you
here in your Crossbred division, I think all four of these class winners, and really all four of those classes, were deep and competitive, which is exactly what I expected it to be, making the trip down here. And you bring them back out, and you probably a set that probably just fits together. I know numbers haven't been huge, but probably a set of them that just look the most similar and fit together the best of what our breed drives have been, at least in my opinion. And I think all four of them, certainly tons and tons of quality. Again, I said it earlier in the day. I think when they hit you hard, they hit you hard, and one of them's just my kind. I think he's unique. I think he's hard to make, but still bulletproof, and he's skeleton, heavy duty in his feature. He's got a wild look. He's tall-shouldered, and still I think is on his way up. I like the young man out of Class 1 to be your champion. Congratulations to him. Drop that young man second place one in, and again we talked that one in terms of where he's good. He's wicked good in terms of bone, in terms of feature, in terms of skull. Again, maybe we talked in relation to the one that wins. He wasn't as tall-shouldered. He's not as just long, elongated from just blade to ear set, and maybe even I'd say he's actually probably going better now, but maybe wanted to push just ever so slightly, I guess, in that particular class drive. I think again we talked these other class winners out here. I think he jumps into contention. There's another one that I like that just for me is a no-holes kind in terms of being elevated, having spread, has shape, has a big functional hind leg, still square in terms of her chest. I like that gilt that wins your last class to be reserved. Congratulations to her.
Segner's Jewelers in Bee Cave in Fredericksburg have all you desire for Valentine's Day. Beautiful diamonds, colorful gemstones, and metals to match your taste and complete your unique look. Your perfect engagement ring awaits you at Segner's. Let them custom design a special piece or repair your favorite one. Located in the HEB Center on 71 in Bee Cave and 236 West Main in Fredericksburg, or at SegnersJewelers.com. Welcome to Segner's. Define your love. Define yourself.
At Hill Country Propane Inc., we work hard to earn your propane business. Do you need propane delivery for your home?
We're on it.
Refilling propane cylinders for your grill?
We're on it.
Filling up your RV in our easy drive-through?
We're on it.
Savings on RV and cylinder fills?
We're on it.
For all your propane needs, choose Hill Country Propane Inc. because
we're on it.
Hill Country Propane Inc. Go propane.
Well, howdy, friends. This is Paige Finley from FBG and Billy's.Live. I want to tell you about some new friends I met at J4 Trailer, a a family-owned Texas trailer dealer out 290 just east of Fredericksburg. They carry utility trailers, livestock trailers, cargo trailers, and if you're looking for all the bells and whistles, they can custom build just about anything. Food trucks, car haulers, trash, or landscape trailers, whatever you need. Give them a call today, 830-997-9969, J4 Trailers. That's where I got mine.
It's our mission at Fredericksburg Veterinary Center to offer the utmost care for your animals. We provide vaccinations, full exams, surgeries, hospital services, and so much more. Unable to come in and visit us? Our team's available for farm and house calls. We strive to take care of your pets as if they were our own. To discover quality care for your animals, visit us online at www.fbgvetcenter.com or give us a call at 830-997-4308. We hope you can come join our veterinary family.
Well, folks, as we make preparations here at the Gillespie County Show Barn for the Grand Swine Drive, just want to thank you again for joining us today and remind you about tomorrow. 1 p.m. is when our coverage will begin of the Saturday sale. Sure hope you'll join us, and congratulations again to all the students, to all the winners today and yesterday, both in the poultry show. I guess we had 3 yesterday. Poultry show. We have lamb, goat today, swine, and then this afternoon it'll start
Which ones are we
shortly after
missing?
this. Will be the cattle show. We'll start with showmanship.
We're
and then
missing the
heifers.
champion hamp and quite a few reserve breeds, so please bring on the pigs so we can get this finished up.
And then the steer. So I hope you'll stick around for that today. Thanks again for joining us.
Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. The leaves ain't waiting. Their colors changing like the times, and I'm taking. Darling, would you be mine?
Immediately following
And I
the
hope
selection
you
of the
know I will love you
pigs,
for the rest of
we'll
my
be
life.
announcing the showmanship for the pigs.
Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. We got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth.
To go over our champion,
And I as one
we have
will
champion
always
Hampshire
be
shown by
better
Kyle
than
Hardison,
two.
champion Duroc shown by Audie Wisner,
Yeah, you and
champion
I
York
as
shown by
one
Reese
will
Somerville,
always
champion White OPB shown
better
by Connor
than
Sides,
two.
champion Dark OPB shown by Weston Herbert, champion Crossbred shown by Cole Raines. Our reserve champions were shown by reserve champion Hampshire shown by Kaylin Tott, reserve champion Duroc Weston Herbert, reserve champion York Tyler Pollock, reserve champion White OPB Reed Spees, reserve champion Dark OPB Kaylin Tott,
promise I won't take but a second. I'm not huge, I guess, on speeches at the county fair level. You guys will get to go to bigger shows with guys judging them that are probably older and wiser than I am that can give you a life lesson speech. But I will say certainly thank you for the opportunity to come down here. It's certainly been fun, and I loved it's, I guess, what we do for a living at home, and really nothing else that I would rather do is to be around kids and just livestock in general. And if you guys would, you've got a bunch of young ladies and ladies at the table and guys ringside that have done a tremendous job putting this show on for you. Go ahead and put your hands together for them one time. Again, I think it's been awesome. The pig quality the entire way through has been good, and your quality of kids has been even better. I guess really the only thing I'll say is kids that have shown today, whether you're going to win the show or whether you were third, keep your head up. There was a lot of pigs and animals through this ring that you've got. Some of you are going to show at your end goal closer than others, but there's a lot of things that can happen between now and I guess what that ultimate goal is. And there were a lot of them through the ring that certainly had parts and pieces to go on and do well. But you kids, make sure you thank those family members, advisor, breeder, whoever it is that helps you, because you certainly don't do it on your own. Tell them you love them, tell them thank you. And you parents, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters that help these kids, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for helping them, and thank you for allowing these kids to do this, and thank you for raising your children in what I think is the best way to raise them. The kids that come out of the livestock industry are without a doubt, in my opinion, more prepared and more mature and ready to take on the world than any other thing they could be doing. And that comes from a guy that played sports year-round as a kid. So take that for what it's worth. But thank you guys for allowing these kids that opportunity. I can't wait to grow, I guess, my daughter up in the same industry. So thank you guys. Put your hands together one time for all these kids through the ring. That's all I've got. I think the pigs were incredibly well and good, and I told you where we liked them all, where we maybe change them. And again, there's some of those that were reserve in a breed or second or third in a class that, man, if things go right, they could have their glory when it comes time. I think there's a pair of them that hit me like a ton of bricks that I like incredibly, incredibly well. One that I guess I just can't keep looking at for what he is and what he does. He's impressive, he's dense, he's stout, he's good looking, he's square. And just has so many neat things going on. That young man's Crossbred's your champion. Congratulations to him. Again, thank you guys. It's been an awesome show. Young lady drops that reserve cross in, and that's just the guilt that if you have a pen full of those things at home, you're going to be just incredibly excited about, because she's good built, but she's square up high. She's big in her pen, and still really comfortable. I think she comes in and definitely garners a look. We kind of talked on the Yorkshire, if when we hit the go button, if this thing leaves you with more, there's some neat things there. Your OPBs, your pure breeds, or your breed hogs, excuse me, tons and tons of good. There was another one that I thought came out of an awesome division. There was a pair of them in that division that were incredibly unique. Your champion Hampshire will be reserved. Congratulations to him.
Kyle Hardison. Your 2024 Grand Champion Pig goes to Cole Raines. Your Reserve Grand 2024 goes to Kyle Hardison. And kids, stick around. We are about to announce showmanship once the pigs clear the arena. If you'll come up and claim your prize. We are going to begin with beginner showmanship. So that's the littles. Third place went to Creed Cromer. Second place went to Connor Sides. And first place, beginner swine showmanship, Brazos Herber. In our junior division, third place went to William Crane. Second place went to Strand Spinrath. And first place went to Caden Lopez. And finally, for our senior division, third place, Casey Hawkins. Second place, Weston Herber. And first place senior showman went to Emma Schleder. So if y'all would please come up, we have a prize for y'all. If you're a champion or reserve breed champion pig, you need to go to the backdrop and get your picture. Thank you all.